Okay, good afternoon. All right, we're happy to take some questions to either myself, the Deputy, or the Minister. It will mean that the power bills will come down, but what it means is we know that households have been doing their part with recycling, buying electric vehicles, but this means that we are really going to be supercharging our transition. This is what we need. We need certainty for families, we need certainty for investors, and we need certainty for workers, and it's exactly what this plan does. This is bold, this is visionary. There is nothing like this in the nation. I stand by this. I will work with the federal government. My cabinet has worked night and day on this to deliver the most comprehensive energy and jobs plan that our nation has ever seen.
Can you guarantee you'll keep it the budget? Because if you don't, the consequences will be catastrophic at the start.
Yeah, so we're announcing an over $60 billion plan today. There is a combination of public investment and private investment, and we believe we've got the balance right. These 2 hydro dams that we are going to be building are going to transform our energy landscape, plus the new technologies of batteries, more investment in solar and wind, plus the transition of our existing power plants, our coal-fired power plants, into clean energy hubs, sets our state up for the future. This is world-leading. We know that Queenslanders understand climate change. Today, government understands that we need to take action, and today we are taking that action.
You said this plan is going to reduce power bills. What are you basing that on? Have you got economic models?
Yes, we do.
Will you be releasing that?
Yes, we will be.
How much is the state going
Soon.
to be investing, and how much is coming from the federal government and the private sector?
Yeah, well, now we'll be having detailed discussions with our federal colleagues. But my conversations with the Prime Minister have been encouraging. The conversations that Minister de Brenni has been having with Chris Bowen are encouraging. We have a federal government that finally understands climate change, and we want to work together. Be under no illusion. Queenslanders understand that this is a national issue and they want action. And today, we stand up, we're going to be accounted for, and we are going to take this action.
What's the money breakdown? How much are you anticipating will have to come from the private sector from this
Yep.
$62 billion?
Okay, so we've got $6 billion already that we're announcing today, 2 previously from the Renewable Energy Fund and another $4 billion. Then, of course, we're looking at partnerships with the private sector. We anticipate that just over half of the $60 billion will be needed from government. This will be factored into our borrowings, and the modelling supports us doing this, especially from the Queensland Treasury Corporation.
And how much from the federal government specifically?
We'd like to see some contributions from the federal government, especially on the hydro. So we'll be talking extensively, but like I said, the conversations I have had with the Prime Minister, I flew to Canberra, I had a private meeting with the Prime Minister about the specifics of this issue, and I'll be having further conversations with him over the coming days and the coming weeks.
Why has there been no, improvement or increase target for emissions reduction?
Sorry?
Why haven't you increased the emissions reduction target?
In relation to the energy emissions, it comes down by 90%.
That's in Queensland's emissions reduction target.
Yeah, but they'll be factored in further. I might get the Energy Minister to talk a little bit more about that, but they'll be factored in the future. But what we're talking today is about our energy plan.
The Greens say that if you, say, put on renewables, it's great. But
The Greens, thank you, the Greens are all talk and no action. Let me say that. This is action. This is standing up and taking action. This is the most comprehensive plan. I put it to anyone to reveal a more comprehensive plan in the country. This is world leading. This is world leading. This sets up our state for the future. You have to go and see the buzz of the people speaking out here in the room. People were stopping us and talking to us. This is exciting. They're talking about moving to Queensland. That's how exciting that
The
is.
Greens say, as I said, renewables are great, but if you just throw them on top of fossil fuels and you don't actually bring down the emissions, it's not going to change.
But Tim,
climate change.
if you go back through my speech, it comes all the way down. Look at the chart. The chart comes all the way down. There will be no reliance on coal in our power stations for our energy by 2035. Any other questions?
On that point about 2035, does that mean that the
they actually transition into clean energy hubs. There's a great graphic there, Sarah. I'm happy to go through it with you, but the graphic is really good because we get Paul Simshauser from Powerlink to talk to you in more detail, but you actually need the spinning turbines to still operate. That stabilises the system as you transition from your coal to your renewables. Then you have your pump hydro is there for storage, plus you also have battery storage. And don't forget too, we are building the largest super grid right up the backbone of Queensland to become like an artery, which will be like a magnet attracting this huge investment in wind farms and in solar farms.
And have you got the cash to turn the power stations back on if something goes wrong as planned?
The plan is very clear that until the hydros come on, we only gradually phase down in relation to the coal-fired power stations. The plan is very clear. The plan gives certainty to the workers, and just after this we've got to go and sign this workers' guarantee. And then secondly, it gives certainty to investors.
Through a bit of shade at New South Wales area with snowy 2.0, can you guarantee there won't be any big cost blowouts like we saw in New South Wales with our hydro projects?
Well, we'll be working very closely with the federal government, and now we go into that detailed design. A lot of extensive work, years of work has gone into identifying which are the major sites. We've identified those major sites: the Barumba, west of Gympie, the second one west of Mackay. And can I tell you, this is nation leading. This is the nation leading infrastructure that our government is standing up for, and we will build with the support of the federal government.
When will the targets be in legislation? Just a couple of weeks ago warned that the cost of building these kind of projects has increased.
I might just get the Energy Minister to make a few comments, that's right.
Sure. The boss of Queensland a couple of weeks ago said the cost of building these types of renewable energy projects had increased between 20 and 40% just over the last year. Does this plan factor in those cost blowouts, as Tim mentioned, but in terms of how much it actually costs to build at the moment in the global environment?
The Premier commissioned the Energy and Jobs Plan a year ago. We worked closely with the government-owned corporations, including Powerlink and all of our generators, to develop this plan. We've been through all of the detail, and so we're very confident that the investment profile that we've announced today, the Premier has announced of $62 billion, can deliver the Queensland supergrid. But the real question is about cost. The cost of not acting on climate change is incredibly catastrophic. Queenslanders are seeing the frequency and severity of natural disaster increase year upon year. They want our government to take action on climate. That's what this plan does. They want to see an energy system that remains publicly owned. That's why we're delivering public investment in this and maintaining public ownership. They want to see lower emissions and reliability at the same time. This plan delivers that. And of course, households and businesses want to see affordable electricity, and this plan delivers that too. And so the costs are well considered, and the costs of not delivering this plan are catastrophic. That's why we're acting today on behalf of all Queenslanders.
What detailed planning has gone into the planning beyond just simply identifying a sort of system?
Oh yeah, a lot of detailed planning.
Yeah, so as the Premier has just indicated, detailed planning has gone into our pumped hydroelectric proposals. The difference between what has happened in New South Wales with Snowy and what will happen with the Pioneer Burdekin project is that we are carefully considering this through a process of detailed analysis, working with the local community and working cautiously and deliberatively. That's why we will deliver this plan on time, and we look forward to delivering that on budget as well. Out on the ground in the Pioneer Valley, as we speak, our teams are commencing work on community consultation there. They'll be undertaking a range of studies, environmental studies, hydrological and geological studies, advancing the work that has already, the detailed work that has already taken place. So we're very confident that we'll be able to deliver this nation-leading. In fact, as the Premier announced today, this will be the world's largest pumped hydroelectric scheme, something we're very, very proud of.
Premier, can you ask you a question about about one other thing?
Yeah, sure.
Crime.
Yeah.
How many more deaths will it take before the government decides to do something differently to combat youth crime?
Yeah, look, first of all, can I express my condolences for the tragic passing, and my understanding is that those young people have been arrested and they'll be facing court, so I won't be speaking any more about the specifics. Look, I agree with a couple of things that Ian Lever said the other day as well. You know, we need parents to take more responsibility. The majority of young people have parents that look after them and care for them. Unfortunately, there are some that don't, and there are some parents that don't take responsibility or care for their children. More needs to be done in that space. And secondly, can I say, our youth justice investment has been phenomenal. Nearly $500 million. The courts have the laws that they need to enforce, and as I said, this is just an absolute tragedy, and I express our deep condolences to the family.
Given them the government appoints the magistrates and has given them the laws, what responsibility does the government take for these children being out there, being let out by magistrates?
Well, it might also, I don't want to preempt the court case, so I won't talk there generally. Well, I said I agree with Ian Levers. Parents need to take more responsibility for their children. You know, it is not acceptable in this day and age to be stealing cars and killing people. It's not acceptable. So we put more police out on the street. We've got more funding going to police. We've got an assistant commissioner whose sole prime responsibility is looking at youth justice. And we've got $500 million. That's a lot of money going at youth justice, trying to get people into different programs and also to building extra detention capacity.
When will this targets be legislated? And what are the consequences if you don't reach them?
Oh, very good question. I'm determined to legislate. I want legislation in by the end of this year, and we will be held accountable by the people of this state.
Can you tell the mothers in Mackay who are waiting for those findings to report why they haven't heard them yet?
Look, my understanding is that the health minister will be doing that as soon as possible.
Today, what did happen?
Sorry, I don't know. You'll have to ask her. No, I understand she's going to do it shortly. Okay. Yes, we've got to go do this. Yep, we've got to do this selling. Yep.
Yes. So. So to achieve our state's 30% emissions reduction by 2030, it required a 41% reduction in electricity emissions. This plan achieves a 50% reduction in electricity emissions and reaches 96% by 2040. So moving towards a net zero electricity, net zero emissions from electricity. There are other sectors that we are supporting as well. This plan accounts for the emissions from the transport sector. So we are going to electrify the transport industry as well. So we're accounting for that. So more work is to be done across other sectors, but clearly here this is an energy plan and a jobs plan, and it does the heavy lifting for a range of other sectors, but this will also ensure that the nation can achieve its 43% emissions reduction target and get to net zero by 2050. This will make one of the most significant contributions of any jurisdiction in this nation towards our national 2050 target.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. We've got to do this. Sorry.
Stakeholders, you want to talk to you as well?
Yeah.
And we can also get overlay of the signs.